Hello everyone. If this video found you, it was meant to. I had a thought earlier today. I didn't know what to do today, but most of my days compile of meditation or journaling, doing something that feels exciting and expansive and growth and learning and all of these things, right? And now having been in the spiritual space for a while and being spiritually awakened, the idea so much is that we always need to do something. We always need to work on ourselves. We need to do the courses and the meditations and watch the videos and consume so much. But I just had the realization that anything you do can be fulfilling, even if it's the smallest thing. If it's drinking water throughout the day, because you don't usually do that. If it's reading and sitting down with yourself, because you don't usually do that. If it's deciding to eat something a little bit healthier than you would normally choose, it can be that. It can be all of these things. It doesn't have to look like the coursework, the inner work, the healing, the going through the generational trauma, the inner trauma, all of this stuff. That's great. And that, that helps you along the way if you feel excited to do any of those things. But I had the realization that it never ends. It never ends. It never ends. As humans, we're constantly evolving. We're constantly changing. We're doing so much every day. And what does it look like to allow yourself the space to do nothing? What does it look like to allow yourself the space to do half or a quarter of what you normally do? As we move into 2026 and the vibration is rising, the energy is increasing, it's going to be hard to do so much. Your body's not going to want to. And your body has to move with energy because it is energy. Your body has to move with the increased vibration because you are vibration, you are frequency, you are energy. What does 2026 look like in a different way that is still you choosing you? What does 26 look like where you're not doing all the stuff? Not because you don't want to, but because you're listening to yourself, because you're more tired, because you need some more rest. The ideas, the creativity, the manifestations, all of that will naturally come to you without doing. But you have to trust yourself. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust that your higher self knows what it's capable of for you in physical form. It takes consistency. It takes showing up for yourself. It's not working hard. And you can argue that both of those are hard. Me going through inner trauma, generational trauma, feeling so much emotion, that's tiring. It's very, very tiring. And I don't want to compare that to the idea of hard work, but it's going to be very different in 2026. It's going to be very different. Your days will look different. The things you decide to do each day will look different because your body can no longer do all of those things. And you have to allow it not to. You have to listen to yourself. You have to listen to yourself. That's the only way you can continue to grow and move and be in this world. You have to listen to your body, your emotions. What are your ideas telling you? What are your emotions telling you? Do you need to lay down for 10 minutes and just breathe with yourself? Do you need to hug yourself? Do you need to feel? Do you need to cry? Is something going on in any of your chakras in your body? What is going on within? Once you figure all of that out, then you can say, okay, these are the things I want to do. But in 2026, I had the idea that the word for 2026, for me at least, and it may be for you, is allow. Allowance of all that is, acceptance. That's how you create transformation and healing and growth. Allow. Allow your body to say, I'm tired and I'm not going to do all the things that you made me do a month ago. My body just can't handle it. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But you have to be willing to listen. If you're not willing to listen, then you're fighting with yourself. You're fighting with your emotions. That's only going to manifest in your physical reality. It's only going to create pain and suffering in your physical reality. So you have to listen to yourself. What does it look like to listen to yourself? Maybe it means taking a bath. Maybe it means taking a shower a little longer than you do. Maybe it means doing the face mask every other day because it just makes you feel slightly more replenished. Maybe it means choosing the fruit over the candy. Maybe it means sleeping for 10 or 11 hours a day. I've spent the last almost 4 months giving myself the time my body needs to sleep. No alarm. Very, very rarely did I set an alarm to wake up at a certain time. And that was when I had something to do or an event or whatever. But very rarely did I give my body a schedule to wake up at a certain time. My body is going to sleep as long as it needs to, and as long as it needs to feel replenished. I don't want to start my day tired. That's already out of alignment for me. So if it means I'm going to sleep for 12 hours a night, then I'm going to sleep for 12 hours a night. I'm going to listen to what my body is telling me. You know, I wake up whenever my body wants to wake up. I ask myself in the morning, what feels exciting? What feels like something I'm feeling drawn toward? And I do those things. I'm not employed. I haven't been employed for a few months, yet I've been supported through everyone in my physical reality. I've been supported by the universe, which is everyone in my physical reality. And I believe the same as everyone is for everyone if they allow it to be. What does it look like to choose you? Does it mean you quit the job? Does it mean you take more time for yourself? Does it mean you do your passions more every day? You don't have to take the big leaps. A few months ago, I took the big leaps. I quit the job. I moved out of the city I lived in for 6 years. I moved to a different state. I did all of these things all at once, and it was crazy. It was crazy. If that feels calling to you, then by all means do it. But if it's not, what does it look like to still choose you, even if it's not a drastic change? What does that look like? Does it look like sleeping a little bit more? Does it look like talking to friends? Does it look like not using drugs to cope? Does it look like giving yourself a little bit more time to rest? You have to ask yourself, what does that look like for you? And you will receive the answers from yourself because you are all knowing. You are all being. You have all of the answers within. So as we move into 2026, what does choosing you look like? What does being more authentically and vulnerably yourself look like? Because it all starts with you. Once you trust in yourself, your entire universe will change if you allow it to. If you got this far, thank you for watching. And if you feel compelled to write or, leave a comment or whatever about what it means to choose you, by all means, go ahead. And just take this advice, and if you choose, and really sit with what it means to choose you. And I promise, I promise, I promise, I promise, you will thank yourself for it.